Have y'all ever wanted to grow cucumbers, but you were always reluctant to do it because they tend to spread out and take up large areas to grow? Well, today we're going to talk about how to grow them vertically so everybody can grow them in a very limited space. Good morning, YouTube family. Today we're going to talk about some cucumbers, and we're going to talk about how to plant them in a way that we can grow them vertically, save us a bunch of money, and how to actually plant them in the ground. I'm going to use two different varieties today. The first one is just a plain old slicing cucumber, nothing fancy about it. This is the kind that you see in the stores all the time. They get about 7 or 8 inches. I like to slice them and put them on a plate and get them nice and cold, and put a little bit of onion and slice up some cherry tomatoes on there. Man, I'm making myself hungry. So anyway, I'm only going to put in 2 of these plants. The other plant that I'm going to plant is an Asian cucumber. These are long and slender, and they get about 1 foot long, and they have a real crispy texture, and I love the way they taste. They sort of taste to me like a cross between a watermelon rind and a cucumber. It's got kind of to me, that's the way it tastes for me. Nancy shreds them up in like little matchstick size shreds and uses them in soup and all kinds of stuff, and salads. They are very tasty. So we're going to put these 2 out today, and I'm going to show you how to actually use a trellis to grow them vertically, because you can save a lot of space. Is if you were going to plant cucumbers in the ground, you would have to plant them probably about 3 feet apart, and kind of hill it up just a little bit and put that one plant in there and move over about 3 feet, and it's going to take up 6 or 8 feet in diameter. That takes up a lot of space. So to grow them on a trellis, I can put the things as close together as about 1 foot apart, and build a nice trellis and let them climb up that trellis, and all the fruit hangs from the trellis, and it's very easy to harvest. They're not laying on the ground turning yellow, and I think that's the way to go. Even though I have the space to put them on the ground, I'm still going to grow them on a trellis because it's so much easier and better to do. So let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is the trellis itself. I see a lot of people out there using those little strings and nylon cords and all kinds of little trellises. You know, to me is just a waste of time. These cucumbers are going to grow long vines, heavily laden with fruit, and that puts on some weight. 90% of a cucumber is water, and you get a whole bunch of those fully mature cucumbers on here, and it's going to be disheartening to come out here and see some little string stuff that you strung out be done pulled to the ground with all that weight. So you want to build something that's substantial, that's going to be able to support a lot of load, and here's how I do it. So I wanted to share that with you. First thing I did is I took some landscape timbers and I sunk 3 of them in the ground. These were 8 feet long, and I've got them in the ground about probably about 4 feet, so they're in there pretty good. Now, to keep them more sturdy, I have strung up 12 gauge wire. I put some 7-inch turnbuckles on them, and I attached it to the end so I could make a pull this way. Then I Then I connected all 3 of them with turnbuckles and 12 gauge wire. So I use an eye bolt, put the turnbuckle on, take it right down to the middle one, and I bolt it together. And I do the same thing on the final one. And at the end, I tie down the other end with another turnbuckle all the way down. Now what I got is I've got the 2 ends secured, and I've got a horizontal line going between the three vertical posts. So I've been able to pull some tension on those 3 posts, and I've got them good and secure. The next thing I put on is the trellis itself. I don't like to use chicken wire or anything flimsy. What I use is hog fence panels, and I can get them at Tractor Supply Company for like 12 bucks, and they're 50 inches by 8 feet long. And let me show you those. If you come up close, I want you to take a look at how heavy that fencing is. See, it's good stuff. It's heavy duty. I've got it attached to the post with U-nails, fencing nails attached to that. And then I've got my guy wire that goes across between them. I just tie it on with some tie wraps, and that thing is on there. It's a little bit wiggly, but I mean, it's solid. And what I like about it is it's got big openings in it, so when I've got cucumbers and hanging on here, I can get my hands and arms through the fence, and I can reach the other side and get things, you know, from one side. So I'm doing all my work from one side of the trellis only, and it's not going to collapse on me. I can lean on it and it ain't going nowhere. So the trellis is extremely important, that it's substantially solid, that's going to support some good weight. All right, we got the trellises there. So the next thing I'm going to do is plant the plants. And I want to show you how to do that so that you can encourage those things to go to that trellis, because once we get them to the trellis, it's a simple thing. Just kind of encourage them to wind their way through those openings. They have the little tentacles that come out and wrap onto this. It's a good climber. So having a good support system for them to climb on, man, we're gonna have some good cucumbers. So first thing I did out here is I cleaned out my little cucumber bed and got all the winter weeds out of it, and turned the soil 1 shovel load deep, and turned it completely over. Then I graded it all out with my grading rake, and now I'm going to add some black cow manure, just enough to give it some good animal compost. I don't put any fertilizer in these things. They're going to do everything naturally with the organic animal compost. So let me get that in there. You'll notice when I was working underneath that trellis, I have to get rakes and tools and shovels and stuff underneath there. So you'll notice that I have my trellis raised up. See how high I've got it above the grade? It's about 14 inches above it. That gives me plenty of room to work under there underneath the trellis without the trellis hindering my groundwork. So we've got that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plant the cucumbers. Now the cucumbers, they're real susceptible to powdery mildew. So when you plant them, having the trellis and the vertical climbing cucumbers reduces that risk quite a bit. So they've got plenty of air going through them, and they're not laying matted together on the ground. So I've got my Bing Bing talking about that siren over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to space them out where they got about 16 inches in between them, The way I do that is I cut me a stop. It's off 16 inches long, so it makes it easy for me to make sure I'm putting them in correctly. So here I go. I'm going to start my first one right here. I'm going to put the cucumber itself just barely in front of the trellis. That way when it grows up, I can maneuver and manipulate that from this side of the trellis. So I'm going to start my holes right there. There's 16 inches. There's 16. I just make a little hole in the ground so I know where to put them. Okay, there we go. They're spaced out correctly. Okay, we got our holes dug on the little spots that I marked, and I like to use fish to do my fertilizing because it is purely organic. I want to stay as close to organic as I can. What I do is I put a fish in the hole. One fish. Then I use some garden lime. You've seen me do this on many of my videos. Garden lime will cover up that smell of that fish when it's trying to decay, and I don't want any animals to smell that and come over here and try to dig it up. When they do, they dig up your plants with it. That can be heartbreaking. So once I get the fish in the hole, let me go ahead and get all those fish put in, then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I got all the fish in the hole. I got the garden lime on it. Then all you do is just cover up the hole. Easily dig me a little 4-inch hole. Take my plant. And I use these bamboo canes. You've seen me do this in some of the videos. It works so good. I'm going to put it right here beside it. Now, I've got the plant secured from the wind, and it'll also has a little bit of something to kind of help it come up these sticks until it gets to the trellis, and at that point I'll be securing it to the trellis. But this is going to help it get there. So let me go ahead and get all the rest of them in the same way. Okay, we got our cucumbers off and running, and I hope that helps you on your vertical growing. It's definitely the way to go. So we'll come back in a few weeks, and we'll start another video and show you the progression of our cucumbers on through the summer. And the best part of all is the harvest part. So we'll capture that on the next video. And if you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel. We'd like for you to be a part of our YouTube family. We also have a Facebook page called Hollis and Nancy's Homestead. Check it out. Come on over and click on the like button and be a part of that media with us as well. So until we see you in a couple couple of weeks from now on these cucumbers, always remember, by His hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks for watching our videos. We really love making them. If you like our videos, please like our Facebook page to get the latest tips and tricks. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the newest video. Like it, it would really inspire and encourage us. But most importantly, share it to encourage others. We'll welcome your comments and questions. Thank you. Have a blessed day.